Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name's Austin. Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, just got on CNN's First Move with Julia Chatterley and answered the tough questions about Ripple and XRP going into 2020. First off, the private company Ripple, just got valued at $10 billion. So not the token, but the private company. What does Brad feel about that? And when he hinted a few weeks ago that Ripple would not be the last company to go public to issue an IPO in 2020, well, how soon is that potential IPO for Ripple going to be? Watch this.
Talk to me about the raising of money and the $10 billion valuation. How do you feel about that?
I think anytime you have new investors come in, you are intimidated by the expectations that are set. By the same token, Ripple today at today's XRP price owns something like 15 plus billions, I think somewhere north of $15 billion of the crypto. So in some ways, those investors came in at a discount. Look, we are in a very fortunate position to have a very strong balance sheet. We're in a very fortunate position to have a lot of customer momentum. And I think it's because we've focused on solving a real problem for real customers.
So why IPO? Why go public, to your point? If you have this money, you're raising money. What's the purpose of going public?
Well, I don't think we've said we're going to go public. I think what we've said, what I said was, I think 2020 will likely have crypto kind of blockchain IPOs. And I think what I said was, I don't think Ripple will be the first, but we certainly don't want to be the last. So I kind of kept it open-ended. I think people heard something a little bit different than that. But look, the balance sheet flexibility we have had has given us the ability to invest over $500 million across the blockchain ecosystem. That includes within XRP world, but also beyond that, because again, back to I think all boats can rise. So I think having balance sheet flexibility gives us strength to do new things. The MoneyGram deal is a deal I know you're very familiar with, where we invested about $50 million into MoneyGram. And so we want to continue to have the flexibility to grow the business. We have added ability to do that. So
it would be about more money and about potential acquisitions and doing.
Yeah,
doing
I think about it as flexibility more than just more money. And maybe I'm parsing words a little bit, but today we have a $10 billion valuation as a private company with a private security. We have shareholders of Ripple. If you're a public company, you have a little more flexibility in the type of deals you might look at.
Interesting. So Brad Garlinghouse confirms that an IPO, although we won't say when, is in Ripple's future. And as to why they are doing it, whether you want to use the words to acquire more flexibility, acquire more money, or parsing words here, but Ripple is looking into it. Now, me personally, I would love if Ripple went public, just because I think it would finally give average people like you and me the opportunity to own some shares in Ripple. So when Ripple, the company, makes a future partnership, I could be a little more excited if I actually own some shares in Ripple, which people think they own when they buy XRP. Now, that's me. This next question, though, I liked this. Julia Chatterley asked the question that we're all wondering. Is there any more clarity from U.S. regulators on whether XRP is or is not an unregistered security? Right from the horse's mouth. Listen to this.
You mentioned something there which I think is important. I just want to go through it. The court case over whether or not XRP is a security or not. Any clarity coming in the near distant future is one of the questions that I know the community would like to know.
Yeah, this is an area where I think we'll continue to engage. I think from my point of view, the good news is we've had very constructive conversations with regulators here in the United States. We'll continue to do that, and I think it's clear to me that there's an opportunity to provide more clarity, and we're working to achieve that.
Okay. No real answer yet, but I appreciate his candor, and I'm sure the people at Ripple are all hoping that the U.S. regulators decide soon. The minute I get more information, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to let you know, so hit subscribe. You do not want to miss one of our daily videos keeping you informed about cryptocurrency. Before we get to some pretty interesting news involving Roger Ver and Bcash, what I'll leave you with, the last tough question. Ripple right now, the company, owns some shares of MoneyGram. Would they ever consider acquiring MoneyGram, the whole company? Or would that just be too much of a conflict of interest of some of their other companies, remittance companies, that they do business with? And again, Julia ends it by pressing the issue, when will Ripple go public? In 5 years? In 1 year? When?
I was looking at the market cap of MoneyGram, and I know you've got stronger views on this. Just to your point about money, about acquisitions, about expansion, would it ever be worth perhaps acquiring a MoneyGram, or do you risk perhaps upsetting other partners and competitors of theirs, actually, that trade with you or do business with you?
We definitely don't. We don't want to be in the business of competing with our customers.
No.
We want to partner with our customers. And, I think we obviously are a shareholder in MoneyGram, but also a shareholder in a number of other companies in the space. And it's because we want them to be healthy and strong. I mean, Bitso, which is really the leading South American, Latin American exchange, we're an investor there. And we want to see them grow and thrive because they are really good at what they do. And as they grow, we can help them grow. That's good for us. It's good for them.
Fast forward 5 years. Where are you?
Well, I think the overall crypto community will continue to grow at really impressive rates. In 5 years from now, I don't know exactly how to think about that, but I think within crypto world, I think Ripple will continue to grow and take market share. But that will probably be, we're focused on cross-border payments today. I think we'll look at other use cases, as I kind of alluded earlier. And I hope that in 5 years we've got we're not just Amazon Books, but we are Amazon.
And fast forward 1 year.
Ooh.
Kind of tougher.
Probably another cold, rainy day in New York somewhere.
Are you public?
I don't want to put a timeline on that, only because, look, it partly depends on lots of macro dynamics. I mean, on a more somber note, you watch what's happening with coronavirus and these things, and it's hard to put exact timelines. I think we want to have the flexibility to be a public company when it's right for Ripple to be a public company.
I can see you're enthused. You get a sense when you talk to, creators of businesses that is something that's sort of part of the plan. And
I think it's part of the journey.
Forgive me this. XRP, higher or lower in 1 year time? Had to ask.
Depends on so many things.
I knew you'd dodge that. Great to chat to you.
It's really nice to talk to you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
All right. Say what you want about XRP, but Ripple, the company, does some of the best awareness, the best marketing. So I'm sure we'll be seeing Brad Garlinghouse on more news channels as this market heats up. You let me know what you think. First piece of news. Roger Ver is going on the record, distancing himself now officially from the proposed 12.5 Bitcoin Cash miner tax, saying, whoa, he never truly agreed to this. Listen to this. Bcash proponent Roger Ver says neither he nor Bitcoin.com, which he owns, endorsed the controversial 12.5% BCH miner tax. Now, this is interesting because his name was clearly on the statement that went out. So let's see exactly what he says. And keep in mind, while 12.5% miner tax is now off the table, I guess, Bitcoin ABC, or Bcash, is proposing a new development funding plan which reduces the tax not to 12.5, but now to a 5% tax of the block reward. So this is still happening, but let's just see Roger distancing himself here. According to Roger Ver, which he said live in an interview, I didn't sign this. There was definitely discussion, and I thought the talks were still ongoing when all of a sudden this was released and my name was at the bottom. I don't think my name was released with the intention of getting one over on everybody. I think it was just a lack of communication. Lots of time zones and different languages. So, taking him at his word, he was just talking about it. He never fully agreed to it. Either way, whether it's 12.5 or now potentially 5%, this did show how a few individuals seemingly could control the future and the taxation of Bcash. So, take this for what you will. Last piece of news, Binance is set to announce a white label exchange infrastructure for local, smaller exchanges. Another way to say this is Binance will soon be launching a digital asset trading platform that can be rebranded by smaller exchanges for their local markets. Binance Cloud will offer local exchanges, spot market and futures trading, as well as local bank API integrations and P2P, peer-to-peer, fiat to cryptocurrency exchange services. Implementing a product like Binance Cloud would relieve potential exchange operators of the software burdens involved in securities of an exchange, scalability of an exchange, And that gives those local exchanges more time to worry about, say, getting the proper licenses and registrations in their jurisdictions. So while an exchange may have its own branding and its own local fiat currency, the back end will basically be Binance, which will bring the benefit of more liquidity and everything that comes with, a big juggernaut like Binance to the local exchanges, but it will be white labeled with that local exchange. So watch out. Binance making moves. Let me know what you think. That's the video for today. My name's Austin. Like the video, and like always, I'll see you tomorrow.